The media industry has had its fair share of pressure this year. Taking a look here, streaming companies are slashing costs to account for soft ad spending and even cutting jobs as threats of a potential recession loom. Let's not forget to mention the Hollywood writers' strike, which has made matters worse by delaying content for consumers. So with all this uncertainty in streaming, what can we expect for the second half of the year? Well, let's bring in Kevin Tran, Morning Consult Media and Entertainment Analyst, to weigh in on all of this. Good to see you. Obviously, a lot going on here. So I want to try and figure out what phase we're now entering for some of these streamers here. It used to be about exclusive, expensive content. What happens now?
Right. And first off, thanks so much for having me. I think what you laid out is good context. And in the beginning portion of the streaming wars that started in late 2019, like you said, there's a big emphasis on flashy content having as much shows and movies as possible. Now, with the emphasis on profitability, we're seeing companies actually lighten their libraries and look for more licensing opportunities to increase revenue and not have to pay residuals on titles that aren't getting as much viewership. So I would expect that trend to continue, as well as on the creator side with big names. I would expect these big studios to be a little more choosy on who they're signing to longer term deals with high dollar values attached.
And obviously, it's all about getting, eyeballs from consumers and that ad spend as well. What are you seeing, though, in terms of ad spend? When you look at ad-supported tiers versus ad-free, who are the real big winners here and what are they doing right?
Yeah, I would say in general, a lot of people so far are focused on ad free tiers, but we're seeing more of an emphasis by consumers being placed on the cheaper ad supported tiers. So our data shows that around a third of consumers say that most of their streaming subscriptions are ad supported. And I would expect this to increase as the year goes on. I think there's just a lot of consumers so far who still aren't aware that streamers like Netflix and Disney Plus have recently launched cheaper ad-supported tiers. But as the streaming landscape as a whole continues to raise prices for ad-free tiers, I would expect more consumers to reevaluate their budgets and, as a result, become more aware of the cheaper ad-supported tiers that Disney Plus and other streamers are offering.
And speaking of Disney, I mean, we have to talk live sports because that's meant to be a sort of next bastion that everyone's trying to fight for, trying to get a piece of it, but also very, very expensive. How do you see that playing out? And does the consumer demand justify some of the costs?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of interesting sports rights deals going up for auction over the next couple of years, the NBA being one of them. I think that Disney will be very smart in terms of what it chooses to lock down. Our data shows that when it comes to Gen Z consumers, which of course a lot of streamers are focused on, they actually lag all US adults in terms of interest in sports in general and a lot of the major leagues, such as the NFL. So I think that it comes down to not only knowing which specific leagues the Gen Z viewer is more interested in, which our data shows that the NBA tends to be a league that uniquely skews towards Gen Z, will be something that media companies like Disney should consider. And part of that is how these leagues are able to broadcast themselves on social. TikTok, for example, we know is a uniquely Gen Z social network. And as of late this month, the NBA's following on TikTok was around double that of the NFL's and higher than that of leagues such as the NHL and the MLB. So taking factors like that into consideration will really help these streamers make informed decisions on where to lock down sports rights.
And we have a lot of summer blockbusters coming out. Some people are like, I'll just wait till it comes on streaming. Look at some of the blockbusters. We have Barbie, you have Indiana Jones coming out. Where are some of these companies trying to put their ad spend dollars to best use when there's a million options now for people to stream content versus going to the movies and talking about it on social?
Right. I think definitely continuing to have a mix of everything. For channels is important in terms of looking to get the word out on big theatrical movies. Something that might seem a little counterintuitive, which something we've covered recently at Morning Consult is the the still importance of linear TV and that channel in terms of having reach and getting the message out to consumers, not only older consumers that you would assume to be more of a linear TV viewer, but also Gen Zers and millennials, which to some degree can still be found on linear TV. So when evaluating options to advertise on, continuing to have a mix of linear and digital channels is still very important.
So that mix still important there. Thank you so much for that update. Kevin Tran, their Morning Consult Media and Entertainment Analyst. Thank you so much.